Hello everyone and welcome back to another video at my YouTube channel and blog. Today I'm coloring this cute little turkey digi from the Quality Crafts stores. You can find this little guy under the Thankful Digi section. And this project will be featured on the Quality Crafts blog for the week of October 29th through November 4th. So to start off our Thanksgiving month, we're starting with a little turkey. So all the Copic markers will be listed in the blog post, but I do show them most of the time before I start a new section with a new group. And I'm just doing some flicking here, trying to keep the main part of the shading on the bottom part of the feathers and then a little bit on the upper part inside to give them a very rounded look. And I'm using a lot of flicking motions to get that striation, as Kelly Ladavoda says, in there to give it kind of the rough, feathery kind of look or textured look. Anyway, so I used a bunch of different colors to color this little guy. I googled lots of images of cartoon turkeys and caricature turkeys to figure out how to color this little guy. Always recommend that. If you're not sure how to color something, Google. Google is your best friend for anything these days, right? You know, you can find out how to do all sorts of things on Google. So learning how to, or what colors to color your images is just another great way to use everybody's friend, Mr. Google. So just continuing on making the feathers, this section of the feathers brown. I'm using my E20 family for this. And so just bunches of flicks just to give it that nice fun texture. So this little guy is actually going to be my first blog post spot for Quality Crafts. I just started with their design team. I did the blog hop last week, started on the 14th. I did the blog hop. And I featured one of the other fall or thankful digis on that. They got a lot of cute ones for the holidays, and they got a really cute fantasy bundle out right now. I think you can buy them individually, but there's a bundle as well. So if you like digis and like working with digis, I can encourage everybody to check these out. They're really cute, great price point, no issues with getting the images to download. It was very quick and easy. So, and they have lots of other great products on the Quality Crafts website. A good deal on ATG adhesive. So check that out. And here I'm just reinforcing those indentations and stuff with the darkest of the E20 family. And that really helped push those edges of those feathers back and give it that more rounded appearance and kind of 3D effect. So I decided to do his head in some R20, I think it was R20 family. Like I said, I'll have all the colors listed in the blog post. And I wanted to say, if you love Copic markers and you're trying to build up your stash of them, the best place to buy Copic markers is Blick Art. And I will give you a link to that. I always, every week, put their top promo code on my blog and try to do it on my Facebook as well. Because they always have a promo code every week for you know, 10 or 15% off the total purchase, and if you purchase $35 or more, you get free shipping. But they have the best prices on Copic markers. There's like $5.24 each, and if you get free shipping, that's great. You know, it's not hard to buy enough markers to, you know, do $35. So great deal to be able to build up your supply of Copic markers. Now I'm doing an E family on the rest of his body and blending it up into that red. And then I'm using an orange on his little feetsies. Feetsies? Yeah, they have feet. Okay, yes, just doing some yellows and yellow oranges to blend into the E's there for the rest of his body. And for those wings, I will go back and use the same browns as I used on his feathers, I believe. Yes, that's what I did. And again, that flicking motion to give it that textured look. I wanted them to appear a little rounded too, to show that they stick off of his body, so it doesn't look flat, it looks dimensional. And you see I'm going with the curve of it. I always want to flick in the curve of whatever it is, you know, whether it's a flower or an animal or whatever. You always want to go in the natural curve of whatever it is, how it grows naturally. And then I thought it'd be fun to do a bright pink little, we always called it their gobbler. I don't know what that is, that skin that hangs off of their face. Okay, and so then I didn't realize that my chip filled up, but I had him mostly colored there. This little sign I found on Cricut Design Space, and I used the write function to write the gobble till you wobble on there. And now I'm just taking a brown pen. I think this is a Recollections pen that I bought at my local craft store. And I'm just making the wood planks and some wood grain on the wood planks. And I'm using a vintage photo, I believe, here to go around the sign and darken up the signpost. So now I have my two pieces. So now it's time for my card base. Oh, I did forget that I decided to go over the writing because I wanted it a little bit darker. So I used my Memento Tuxedo Black pen to go over everything with. I did have one little goober on the L, but you know, it's a handmade card. You know, it's not supposed to be perfect, right? Right. Okay, so this is a A2 size card, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I'm going to ink a background for it. So I'm just cutting a piece of Ink-a-Dink-a-Doo masking paper, and those are going to be my little hills for the bottom. So I'm going to start by inking the top, and I'm just using my regular distress inks today. And I will have all the colors listed. And again, my chip ran out. I did discover how to fix that though. I reformatted my chip, so now it I get way more time out of it. So I kept losing data. I couldn't realize, you know, while I was doing stuff that it ran out because I can't see the, you know, window on my camera. So that kept happening to me, so I formatted it, and now I get much longer life out of my microchip. Twisted Citron and Mowed Lawn is what I used to for that first layer of green. This is just making my little hills. I went back with some Twisted Citron to blend that in. And then I wanted another hill, but I didn't quite do this right. I should have not inked all the way over to the edge. I should have stopped at where that other hill was coming down, because then I have this really weird triangle right here. So I went back with my Twisted Citron and blended it in, and I got it to blend out. So then it ended up looking pretty good. And once I get my other two pieces on there, you never see it. So I decided to break out my MFT cloud stencil, and I think I used some pumice stone. I'll have that listed down below as well. I'll have all the distress ink colors listed down below. And I just rotate it around and make different little cloud formations to give me a nice sky. Kind of looks like a fall, wintry almost sky for the month of November. And my mask didn't quite go all the way up to the edge, so I've just got a couple of Copic markers that I'm just using to fill in that little line with. And now to figure out where to place my stuff. I did have to trim it down a little bit, which I think helped with how those funny slopes was looking on the bottom. So I used my ATG to get that stuck down, and just figuring out my positioning, and just use a little Nuvo Deluxe adhesive and stick that sign down. And I'm going to just use some foam pop dots and pop up my little turkey. Give him dimension off the front of the card. Here we go. And now I'll just get some warm, oh, I did forget my glossy accents. I got out my glossy accents to go over the little gobbler thing in his eyes. So here's a final look at our card. I added some warm grays underneath the turkey and the sign to give it some shadows, and some little flicks with those green Copic markers to put in some grass. I hope you enjoyed this project, and we'll check out Quality Crafts. Thanks.